so?
All of those little pop-up ads on your thing,
Yeah.
you can make them be your pop-up ads,
Oh, I'm like,
and I'll talk to you later about it.
okay. Oh, great. Thanks. Why am I looking
Yep.
so, like, disturbed?
You're not.
Okay, I'm on. Hi, everybody. This is Maureen TarotVisions, and Julie's with me, running my phones and my co-host. Thank you, Julie. Say hi.
Hi.
And
Yay.
and hi to everybody in the chat room. Looks like I'm just like right in everybody's face too in this, but that's okay. Hi, Doug. Hi, Reggie. Hi, Rose. And yeah, I did do yet again at the last minute event, of course. Anyway, I don't know if anybody can notice my eye looks like it's been punched. Maybe not. Maybe the makeup covered it, huh, Julie?
But yes, it has. It doesn't look punched at all.
It's amazing. I tell you, amazing. Doug saying, "Wow, great video, high definition." It's all my face in the video. It's all. It's a big face. Do I have a big face? I've gained about 25 pounds in the past, I don't know, 2 weeks. And it's really getting, I'm going to be turning into one of those old little ladies that's trying to get as fast as possible so she doesn't have to, socialize in life. How sad. This is a live call-in show. And if I had the banner, I'd putting it right here saying, it's a TarotVisions if you want to Skype in or if you want to call in 858-952-1090. I see I could hold a sign up like this. An imaginary sign like this up high. I'm getting over a little bit of a cold, or I have a little bit of cold, or I have allergies. I don't know what the deal is. But
that sucks.
Yeah, it does. And I have a cough. I'm a mess. So, anyways, thanks, Julie, for putting that in. So, where is everybody else? I think I know why. It's because I didn't get. But then you know what, Julie? It seems like whenever I get the event thing, sometimes it happens, or it has happened. It might be a fluke. That there's times where I don't do an event or at the last minute, and a lot of people. Whereas if I do an event the night before, day before, not as many people. What do you think about that?
That's true.
It's all gone crazy.
You've said that in the past.
Yes, I have. So, anyway, if somebody wants to call, if you don't, you want to sit there and just stare at my face. I'll make. Well, wait.
A lovely face it is to stare at.
Yeah, you're really sweet. Why don't I just do that fun little tweener thing? Oh, I can't find it. Where'd it go? It's down. It's gone down under. I can't do that fun. Oh, it's all right. It's all right. It says it's doing perfect steaming, which is good. And I still could do my I could have you on there for 3D on your Skype, but I don't even see your Skype up here. I can't even find if you're typing to me. Well, that might be, that's something that might be kind of weird, huh? But there's one thing I can see, which I want to tell everybody. I know this is really, everybody's really interested in this. But for those that would like to know the technical end of broadcasting, what I can see, which I didn't even know Procaster when I used it years ago, was when people would go over the live stream chat, Julie, without going into my chat.
Yes.
I can see people. I'm on chat, so I could talk to them too now.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I don't know why I can't see. I don't know what I mean. It's all right. Something's in this drink and it's not red. Okay. So, who else has come in? A guest. Hello, guest.
That's Rose. She's having trouble.
What's Rose having trouble signing in for? Is she using? It's blurry now. Okay, it's better. It's just my face. Rose, maybe. I was looking to see people doing the mobile. I thought. I don't know. People coming. Julie, do you use your mobile device with a lot of things, don't you?
I'm on it constantly.
And so with something like these kind of shows, if you're ever watching any type of shows, not just psychic or anything, I want to ask you, is it advantageous to have an option to where it works on your mobile device? I lost you. I lost you. Where are you, Julie?
I think so because a lot of people use just their phone nowadays for internet.
Yeah, that's very true. That's why I was checking into that, and because I know I can use I have never tried on the live show. I guess I could on my phone, but I do know on the mobile device, I can't see your. Let me see something I could do. Minimize. If I minimize. Okay, wait. Now here I'm going to get this back. Skype back up. Okay, if I could. I know I can see the archives, but there I go. I can see Skype now. I can see it now. But that's okay. I'll put this down. Anyway, you guys want to call in and say boo-ah? I don't care what you say. Call in and say whatever you want. Boo-ah, boo-ah. Now what I got to find is... Anyway, you guys, I guess show's over. The party's over, okay? I'm looking... Oh, over here, when I'm looking at this, I'm looking at... oh, I see Rosa saying... I'm looking at the... I'm speaking in my looking at the chat room in my other thing. You know, it's interesting. I'm looking at here's a Procaster. It comes back up. There it goes. Oh, you don't even know what I'm talking about. But if I could show you, Julie, I'd explain it to you. So, okay, if you guys are wanting, excuse me. For those of you out there, I'm starting to sound like I'm from where is it? For those of you, what terminology is that? It's not, I don't mean to say redneck. I didn't mean that really, people. What is it? For those of you, where is that from? What state is that from?
I have no idea.
Well, I'm going to look it up right now. Okay, well, I can entertain myself. I was originally Rose. Hi, Rose. And then Steve said he might draw. Oh, he did. That'd be a surprise, Doug. As he had just said, as I'm talking, anybody that's just joining me or looking at me. Shoot, I should have gotten some props for myself. Okay, here's my holy water. Blessed of the priest of the Catholics. I'm going to throw it on to everybody in the chat room and see who does not burn. Yes, I did, Reggie. I went back, not to Wirecast, but I went back to the Procast. So I'm praying for you all. Good evening, Leah. Oh, there's Leah. Remember Leah from a long time ago. Well, when I stopped, I am getting a little bit out of focus. Hi, Leah. Leah was around right before I took a hyena, as I call it. Hyenas. How do you really say it? Hiatus. You know, I forgot after I kept saying hyena. And so I forgot what the real word was. I'm like, okay. And yeah, the show's on. It's me. And there's a little bit of a different thing going on here, and I am getting blurry a little bit. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm moving so fast. Same link? Yes. So I guess you have it under control now. I'm just trying to entertain myself. Okay, so I know that because of my wrongdoing of not doing Facebook and whatever. Thank you, Julie. Yeah, Leah came from this chat room, didn't she? This chat.
Yes, the everywhere chat.
Yeah, that's right. She was the most out of all those other fun-loving, foul-mouthed, despicable.
We've had some people that were difficult.
Yeah, to say the least, but they're actually very entertained with their foul mouth.
And Leah was very pleasant.
Leah was lovely, and I'm really happy to see you here, Leah. And she said she'll be right. And I'm glad she wasn't here last week, I don't think, was she?
No, she wasn't.
No.
She wasn't here for about a month before.
Yeah, so this is the first time. I wonder how she must have been cruising every day. What's it called? Everywhere chat.
Everywhere chat, yeah.
So,
she must,
okay, so we have Reggie and Rose and Doug. Who's calling in for a reading? Okay, I guess I'll call them for my. No, I don't do readings for myself, but I would like to bring that up to someone's attention. Uh, Recently, it's become it's become a real big thing. You know, God, I'm sorry, I'm really not. I'm speaking with nasal. Shoot, I have some jalapeno peppers. I'll be right back. That'll help me. I
Oh yeah.
I do. I keep some in just for that. That bothers me. Anyway, actually, wait. Before I begin, I did go on the internet, and if you do this and you hold your, it's all right. It's from a Russian guy, and I'll go into the other thing, but I did it last week ago on the Thursday night show, and I couldn't breathe very well. And if you go like this, what you do is you self suffocate yourself. Not kidding. And it did work. It's like a self, it's not like, you're taking yourself suffocation or whatever, but it's going through this area. Just saying. Just saying. But Leah's having a hard time getting in here. Okay, well, maybe she needs to go get a cup of tea. Anyway, a lot of time lately, I've been thinking about how, everybody's been calling themselves mediums lately. The past 5 years, I think it's been kind of 5 year thingy. I feel that it's kind of gotten out of hand. I'm not saying they're not mediums or not, but now the latest thing is empath.
Right.
And I'm going to address that for a moment because, empath, having empathy. Okay, let's just start on that one. When I was under psychiatric treatment of 25 years ago, I remember I had to take this stupid test. It's called the Minnesota. It's a regular test they give to nutcases. Oh, Julie, did I lose you?
No, I'm just muting it so I can drink some soda.
So you can start drinking away, are you?
Yeah.
But empathy was one thing they brought up to my attention after I took this like 20,000 page thing, and they give these the questions are worded. They're the same questions, but they're worded differently to kind of mine F you. And it turned out the end result was you're crazy. No, but I remember him bringing it up, and this is 1984. He goes, you show so you have empathy, and that's what they called it. It's not, and he explained to me at the time and the difference in sympathy, empathy, sympathy, and there's a whole nother hors d'oeuvres of other problems that he told me I was or had or who I was, which I don't need to go into that. So fast forward up, that was 1984. Fast forward up now to 2013 or before, and people calling them, saying empath, which I am one of those people that do so because it is what it is. And most people couldn't put a wording on it because I feel things more than, and that's why I have a hard time articulating in my readings. I think anybody's in here that's got to know me. I'm all really kind of out of focus, aren't I?
Yep, just forward.
Now, maybe I need to stop, like moving my head back and forth. Maybe I stopped that vibe. No, never mind. I was going to say something that was really. It's okay. It's adult hour. This is not G. This is adult. It is because it might be G in California, but we aren't really G people. We're more like R. Okay, so anyway, empath has become really something everybody now I see jumping on. Have you noticed that, Julie?
Yes, I have.
Okay, and I'm going to say, yeah, I'm one of those people that do put myself right there, and I do say on my website, I think I'm an intuitive empath, crazy person, psychic, whatever. I don't know how I word it. The reason being, again, is because that word empath has been around, or empathy has been around before we were all born. Either people, and there's a lot of people who are sociopaths who don't have empathy because of sadly enough, their, brain circuits are kind of messed up or whatever. I'm not a doctor. I don't know what the wording. I wish I had my daughter were here with me because the reason, again, why I'm bringing this up. Because right before she left for Thailand, she did a great lecture that she asked me to go see, and it was in front of a class at UCSD that she had just graduated from. And the professors that just, because Mariah really took to heart of applying herself to try to get as much experience in the work she wanted to end up doing. So these professors for the 4 years really took an honor. In fact, they gave her, I think I told you guys, they gave her, or anybody listening, they did honor her with like a honor, whatever it was, something of paper. Um, and so it was lovely because for her it was a real accomplishment. It meant a lot. Not everybody that goes and studies what she wants will end up, some of them will not be as passionate, but she was so passionate she really involved herself in anything she could be involved in with them, even if she wasn't getting paid. So when she did this lecture, I noticed she was talking about, and everything was like a little bit over my head, because it's talking about she did a trial with this one of her professors. So they were talking about what they found out about this and how they can try to find. It was about schizophrenia, actually, schizophrenics. But throughout the thing, so she was showing PowerPoint. While she's giving her. Actually, I have it on YouTube. That's what I'm talking about. I did use my phone to record it. But so she had a PowerPoint, so she was, using her thing to point at, the screen and talking about the brain and all these other terms I don't know because I'm not as smart as her. About how, and the words every other time, you could hear it threading in. This is where empathy comes into it. This is where it plays on. And then the professor came up. And again, I kept hearing that word again and again and again. And not like overkill. But again, I want to tell people, so those people that feel that, they should be the only ones that are empaths or whatever, that's just not the case. We all have empathy, but some of us are sensitive and do the work that we do, that being an empath. They had some show out. Was it with Tom Cruise? It was about, what do you remember that? I'm recalling. Hey, Steve. Hi, how are you doing? Hi, Steve. Nice to see you. Good for Steve. Anyway, Steve could relate to this. And Steve, if you want to call up and have a conversation about this with me, I'd be happy to. The show isn't just about people getting readings, of course. But if you want to call in and talk, I'm talking about the empath craze. But they had a movie a long time ago. I think Tom Cruise, I don't know, maybe it wasn't him, was in it. And how it was about the world being different. They had these people these poor people, not poor, these tormented empaths. They were born as empaths, and they kept them in the water, and they could see and feel when a murder was going to be happening. So the whole idea behind this movie was to keep crime down or something odd. But it was sad because these empaths were just being sucked of all their energy because it is very intense. And so I don't feel that anybody, says, well, I started, like whether I called myself that or not in the beginning of time when I first started, it wasn't something I thought about as a word because empathy is something that then you go into empath, or it's like, it's just a little different. And I think the New Agers have gotten on top of it. Steve, I wouldn't mind you calling in to talk to about it. Well, Steve, you have a lot of things to talk about, and I would love. In fact, Steve, I would love to hear about. And I didn't have a chance to ask you about what you were doing with talking about crime and being able to predict. Um, well, yeah, you were doing research on and you published and things that went on. If you want to, I'm not egging you on, but yeah, it might be interesting. Because I don't have a big crowd in here tonight. It's my party, and I'm going to just leave if it's I'm going. And I can play music for you, but I don't think you want to hear that. But anyway.
Have a call.
Oh. Hello, Carl. Hello.
Hello.
Steve?
Hi, I was trying to speak with Maureen.
Oh, it's Steve. Yay. Steve, there you are. Hi, Steve. Uh-oh, I can't.
Oh. Hi, Maureen. Sorry.
No, I'm glad
I didn't realize it was you. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I have a bit of a cold from you the other night.
Oh, I do still have my cold.
I know, me too. Steve, I'm glad you called in. I wasn't trying to force you to do so, but you did, and I'm glad you did. Because I thought if
You're welcome.
So what I'd really appreciate. What are you calling about? Do you want to talk about something? Do you have something to say? I will.
Well, you were asking about the crime research.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I've just been doing the final touches on the book and getting requests to include some quotes. It's basically a piece of research about James Holmes, the Aurora, Colorado shooter. And it's really in-depth astrological analysis. My hypotheses were that you can identify people that have a predisposition towards killing, and that you can predict when they would take action. So I did a really in-depth case study of James Holmes in the Aurora, Colorado shooting, and I've proven that it was all described by the planets and asteroids in the astrological charts.
Okay, so Steve Steve, tell everybody what you do. Because you're an astrologist, because of your background and expertise. Hermetic astrology, is it hermetic?
Yeah, I'm a psychic medium, but I'm also a hermetic astrologer. I specialize in hermetic astrology because I felt that of all of the different forms of astrology, hermetic's the most accurate.
Yeah, and so Steve, what you're saying is, which I find fascinating, what you're saying is by looking at, which I agree with. I mean, really, everybody, the moon, even when the moon's full, look at how it affects us, everybody, not just murderers, but just the moon itself when it's full, and the tides, and that's why they're always talking about it's full moon. They have more crime going on or anything else. So you're talking about going a lot deeper. Well, taking more steps deeper and according to some of what you're saying, of what you calculate in certain types of when the planets and so on, that there is actually more brutal crimes, basically, or all over. It doesn't just, not in your state, but it's a global thing. Is that what you're saying?
Well, basically the planets and their movements are describing different conditions. So if you look just universally at the planets and the aspects between them, then they describe the general conditions in the world. But then you can look specifically at any entity. So you can look at a nation, look at the movement of the planets in the chart of a specific nation or in the chart of a specific person. And in Hermetic astrology, we don't just look at transiting planets, we look at progressed planets. So we take the natal chart and we perform calculations to progress the natal planets. And then by comparing the progressed planets with the natal planets, we can see very accurately what's going on within the psyche, whether that's the psyche of a person, of a nation, or of the whole world. And then you can determine when those progressions peak in their energy. And if transiting planets trigger those peaks, then events can transpire. So you can look at the natal chart of a person and really thoroughly understand their psyche. And you can then analyze what's going on within that person energetically at different points in life, and you can determine risk. So the risk of a person becoming unwell, the risk of a person losing their mental stability, etc.
So, Steve,
So what I'm trying to prove is that astrology and metaphysical insights can be used to avert tragedy.
Avert tragedy is that's the operative word, avert. It will, words, avert tragedy. So,
yeah, and a lot of people, Maureen, say that when we use astrology, we're being fatalistic, and that we're not allowing ourselves just to live with free will. But I actually argue that people who don't live with metaphysical insight are being fatalistic, because the whole power of having insight is that it enables you to make better choices and influence outcomes, which is not fatalistic. It's about taking control and getting the outcomes that we really desire.
So, Steve, with the work that you've been doing on this, are there people that are going to hear this that would matter? Not that we don't matter or you don't matter, but scientifically, well, I'm going to have to say scientifically, as far as I'm concerned. I know astronomy is different than astrology, but are the people that the academic minds or people like this, Will they take note, do you think, from this by the research?
Well, I did actually work quite closely with a law professor, Maureen,
Oh,
because we want the legal community and the law enforcement community particularly to read the research and the evidence so that they could consider using this form of insight to solve crime and hopefully to avoid or avert crime. So it has gone to the FBI and a number of different organizations. What they choose to do with it, I don't know. Like I've sent it off all over the place, and we'll see
but
what comes of it.
but because you're working with an attorney, which is fantastic, they're probably perhaps maybe open to taking a look. The proof's in the pudding.
Well, we wanted the first instance to get the book published,
right,
and to also get it referenced and discussed in metaphysical circles, and for it to also be picked up by the legal community, etc.
it could be quite helpful, actually, more than ever. So, how could this, help if this was the case? And actually, you could put this onto a major software. I mean, where people could anybody that
Yes.
did right know astrology of any sort could have this.
Well, the big question would be how would law enforcement use astrology to identify risk and avert crime? And on the one hand, law enforcement could work with an experienced astrologer when they know of a specific target. So if they've been told that a certain person is a risk, then they could work with a metaphysician or astrologer to profile that person's psyche and assess that level of risk. So they could work on one specific case like that. There is potential to analyze the whole nation or a whole nation and assess risk, but that would require this and probably very costly piece of software to do all the number crunching, and also you'd have to have access to everybody's time of birth, so you could get everybody's date of birth because of driver's licenses,
right?
Or nearly everybody's, but you can't get access to time of birth without requesting the records.
Right.
So that's something that's discussed in the book, because in the conclusions section I discuss legal considerations.
Right. So you're talking about though people that actually have already had maybe, well, have made threats about doing things. Those type of people that we're talking about, like it would be like you'd have to get everybody, to utilize this great. I think that could really defer problems and murders and such. You're talking about more people that show signs that they might just do something crazy like that you would.
Yeah, James Holmes had he'd seen a psychologist a number of times, and he had indicated some homicidal tendencies. So if a psychologist or psychiatrist or school therapist, school counsellor flags to the police that a person seems to be in trouble and has some homicidal tendencies, then that's one flag. Another flag really should be, in my opinion, should be arms and ammunition purchases.
Right.
James Holmes purchased an incredible number of weapons and a huge amount of ammunition on the internet. And if there were processes in place to flag that as a risk, then that information could be tied up with other information, maybe from a psychologist or a psychiatrist, that would indicate there was a high level of risk. I mean, he bought 3,000 rounds of ammunition for pistols, 3,000 rounds for his M&P 15, weapon, which is a semi-automatic rifle, and he bought 350 shotgun shells. And he made that purchase on the internet. And my view is that huge purchases like that should be flagged.
Yeah.
And if that's cross-referenced with psychiatric risk, then there's an opportunity to really assess the risk of that person, and that's when law enforcement could get an experienced astrologer involved to profile the level of risk.
Well, Steve, don't they flag people when they go on the internet and I thought they did that already. If they're, internet, you can find out how to make a bot, you can do anything. But if they go on the internet and what he was able to purchase, you said, am I understanding? Is correct? He was able to purchase.
You could go on the internet and purchase ammo.
So that's what he did, and they didn't flag. I mean, isn't there something I thought I thought already that they would red flag something like that. I guess not.
I'm not sure what controls are in place.
Yeah.
But if there are controls in place, they're not working because it won't.
Yes.
This is a guy who bought a number of weapons, who bought huge amounts of ammunition, as I explained, and he was also on psychiatric meds and seeing a psychologist, and has indicated that he had some homicidal tendencies. He actually sent a text message to one of his friends, and I can't remember the exact words. I've got the book in front of me, but I can't remember the exact words he used. But he said something like, "I am dangerous," or I'm trouble," something like that. So, all of these clues, if they'd been pulled together,
right,
would have indicated he was high risk.
And
well, Maureen, I tell you what really shocked me.
Uh-huh.
This really shocked me, and I included this in the book. But when I finished the book, I decided to update the comments about the number of mass murders in the US. So, having researched to get the data, I included a line in the book which said, whilst I've been writing this book, there have been 310 shooting sprees in the United States. Just while I was writing the book.
It's amazing. It's amazing how many, they say every few minutes or every second or... So you're not just going on people that go out mass murder. You're not talking about people using guns. It's any type of... Well, I guess that maybe I'm wrong. Are you focusing on people when gun shooting and murdering that way?
This book's specifically about mass murder.
Okay.
But it's probably going to be the first in a series of books about metaphysical insights for crime prevention, because it is possible to profile people for other crimes. There has been research on mass murderers, not mass murderers, rather, on serial killers.
Yeah.
But my view is that metaphysical insight could be used for anything.
Yeah. Well, Steve, as far as we're talking about, focusing on a nation where you don't have their exact birthday or date of birth. I mean, time. You can still do. You do
for a lot of nations, actually.
So you could utilize
based on the signing of documentation.
Exactly. So
the moment the Declaration of Independence was signed,
exactly,
was the birth chart for the United States.
Right. That's what I find fascinating. That could really help every nation, country, any. I mean, really, it opens up the door to anybody. Have you ever done anything like that, Steve, where you did a reading or did a chart or anybody? I was talking about the other day, I was talking about corporations and so on, stuff like that.
Do I use astrology for corporations?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, do you feel it would, it's the same thing what we're talking about here, like it could be the date, the corporation,
Yes.
Right. Yes?
Yeah,
So
I do.
Uh-huh.
And basically it's when the bylaws of the corporation are signed.
Right.
That's considered to be the birth. All of the process prior to that is considered to be gestation.
Okay. That's
It's
interesting.
like the child in the womb.
Yeah, exactly. So
That's the gestation period.
So that makes sense to me. Or for anybody's just privately held company when they whatever. Uh, so this is fascinating because I agree because astrology helps individuals and we can go back starting from and then we go to compatibilities and then we go back into what kind of career and da da da. But I think this is getting to a much bigger, grander scale. And I really feel what your research is going to be really, I don't know. All I know is I have a feeling it's heading somewhere that's going to be really beneficial for if people are open.
I hope so, Maureen. I hope so because I did this piece of work not really because I wanted to produce a book. That wasn't my objective. My objective or my passion is proving that metaphysical insight is extremely valid and extremely powerful. So I said in the introduction to the book, firstly, I would like to prove that metaphysical insight could play a hugely significant role in the prevention of serious crime and tragedy. And secondly, this book or this piece of research is a great opportunity to demonstrate to people the astounding accuracy and usefulness of metaphysics. So it is very interesting to read, but the objective is to prove how useful and how valid metaphysics is.
And metaphysics is
and that really it doesn't have any limitations. It can be applied to crime. It can be applied to anything.
Right. It's like metaphysics being using the astrology is what we're talking about here. It's another science of the metaphysics.
Yeah, I mean, astrology is one of the
right
strands in the basket of metaphysical tools, really.
Right. Steve, do you remember I was talking about that movie I was saying about how, and I don't know if it was Tom Cruise, it was a really intense one, and about how the world was real different at the time. It was taking place in the future or something. And they had these empaths that were in water. They were late. I gotta get the name of this silly. Oh, not silly.
I think it was Minority Report.
Yeah. That's it. So that's another way, because that's and I was talking about the empath things getting out of hand, but people playing whatever. Yeah, that kind of thing. It was almost like in the same way, in a parallel. That's the metaphysical or not. I don't know. I think we all whatever. But they were using that as a means to finding out when the next. Remember, it was pretty kind of like in the same. I don't know. To me, listening to what you're talking about, I know that that's something that was futuristic. It's a movie, okay? But isn't that kind of like the same kind of thing? And we're talking about having a tool. Although
I mean, astrology is one of the tools, isn't it? We use the tarot card to get insight. We use numerology. We use astrology, and we use psychic ability and channeling from spirit. These are all just different tools to gain insight. And they're all very valid, very powerful.
But not as big as what we're talking about here, is what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying to, I don't know if I want to use the word comparing it. Maybe this is a pair.
Well, Maureen, I think the reason I chose to use astrology for this project was because you just can't argue with it.
Yeah.
The movement of the planets is absolutely predictable. Nobody can argue about the movement of the planets. It's just a fact. So astrology is mathematical because it's based upon calculations associated with the movements of the planets. And the evidence is just so strong that you can't argue with it. So I chose astrology for that reason. I can give you a couple of examples of just really fascinating findings. So let me give you one here. I'm just looking. I have parts of the book where I write down what's occurring astrologically, and then I explain this is astrological shorthand for, and I state what it actually means. So let me give you a couple of examples. So this is in James Holmes' natal chart. Asteroid Alex, there is an asteroid called Alex, was conjunct, which means right next to, asteroid Batesman. So in James Holmes' natal chart, if you plot asteroid Alex, it's right next to asteroid Batesman. Now, Alex is one of the people that was killed, and Batesman is similar to Batman, and it was the Batman movie. And those two, that conjunction of asteroids Alex and Batesman, and Aurora, asteroid Aurora exists as well, and it was with that cluster of Alex and Batesman, and forming a square aspect, which is an obstacle in astrology, discordant aspect to asteroid Sullivan. So you've got asteroid Alex, Batesman, and Aurora all together forming a discordant aspect to asteroid Sullivan in James Holmes' natal chart, and the discordant aspect to asteroid Requiem. Now, Requiem means funeral mass for the dead. They also formed a square to asteroid Centenaria,
which is a negative. A square would be negative to it, right? Okay.
Yeah, Century 16 cinema. And they also formed a square to Venus in his natal chart. Venus is the planet of entertainment. And it's like astrological terminology in James Holmes' chart for Alex Sullivan's life ended by crazed act during Batman movie in Century 16 cinema Aurora. And that's just in the natal chart. And then when you progress the chart and look at what was going on the day of the killing, or the very moment of the killing, there were just astounding pieces of evidence, including the names of people killed.
Wow.
And one of the girls that was killed, bless her, Veronica Moser. Well, there is an asteroid called Veronica with a K, and there isn't an asteroid called Moser, but there is Mossa, which is one additional S. And the asteroid Veronica was right on top of what we call the Aries point, which is a really explosive point in the chart, and it was squared by the modern planet of death, Pluto, and squaring that asteroid James as well. So the story is told by the planets and the asteroids, and because we know the predictable movements of these planets and asteroids, we can look into the future.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know about astrology, and like I said, I was self-taught back in the day, the other day, that asteroids are playing a big more part when you're doing a progression chart, correct?
Yeah, I plot them. You can plot them in a person's natal chart.
Okay.
You can plot them in an event chart when something occurs. The challenge with astrology is there's so much information. There's just an inordinate amount of information, and the challenge is actually having the time and the resources to investigate it all. I said at the beginning of the book that I had to make decisions about scope inclusions and exclusions because there's so much information. You could write 100 books just on this one event.
Yeah.
There's a limitless amount of information.
So, do you think you said you were working with an attorney, lawyer person. Does he grasp the whole concept or the technical talk or whatever it might be?
Yeah, pretty well. The book actually is a really good, it turned out to be a really good education in astrology for a layperson, because I couldn't just go into all the astrological evidence about James Holmes and the shooting without educating the reader about astrology.
Right.
They have to have enough knowledge of astrology to understand the research.
Right.
So there's a big section on astrology. So it basically talks about the validity of astrology, the history of astrology, and then there's almost an education section in which the reader has to learn a certain amount of astrology. And then it goes into the James Holmes natal analysis and then the analysis of the aurora shooting. And then there are appendices about legal considerations, and also there's a lot of information about pharmaceutical or psychiatric medications.
Right. That's understandable. So when is this, when are you going to have this book out? When will it be?
I'm waiting for the book cover to be
designed. That's right. I remember you telling me.
And then once that's done in a couple of weeks, it will be available to order through Amazon, and it'll be an electronic version, a Kindle version, but also a hardback version, because I like to hold real books.
Yeah,
I don't like reading on screen.
Yeah, I can't do that. Reading on screen drives me crazy. So that's really quickly. So you just have to, Steve, that could happen within the next month and a half then, or so.
Yeah, I'm going to move as quickly as I can. It's all loaded, ready to go. I just need the book cover.
Yeah, and that won't be, I mean, well, I know it's nice to pick the right book cover, but I didn't think it was that. That's fantastic. So anybody would understand this if they wanted to pick this up and read it, because you give some insight about, because, you know, people are talking about asteroids and stuff like that. They wouldn't understand what that would mean, but you give any lay person could understand the terminology.
Yeah, it's written in a way that, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's technical, but it's written for anybody to understand.
And that's interested in something of this nature that could have a lot to be so, what's the word I'm looking for? Advantageous to helping stop some of the stuff that's happened, like, for instance, with, you know, mass murder.
That was my intention, Maureen, to prove that metaphysics is extremely valid and it can be used for all manner of issues.
It's like blending together.
Right. Or looking at events.
It's like blending everything. You know what's so interesting about what you're talking about? Because it all stems back to what I was seeing. Everything is really, this is our ha-ha moment, excuse me, with the stuff that we need from, and I do use my daughter because it's the same. It's not exactly the same, but what she's gone into is let's look at the mind and meditation having such a benefit. Meditation, so we wouldn't have to do so much medication. you know, and it's so blending in meditation. Meditation. What do you call that? Metaphysical. I don't know what you call it. Doesn't matter, but it's not called something where usually a psychiatrist, I'm going to prescribe you meditation instead of giving you lithium or Prozac. But
yeah, I did write. There's a section in the book, Maureen, about psychiatric meds.
Uh-huh.
And I referenced a lady called Rena E. Labo. She's a psychiatrist. I think she's been practicing for more than 40 years. And she's never prescribed psychiatric meds. But she gives some very shocking information about psychiatric meds. And I also did quite a lot of research about regulatory warnings associated with violence and homicidal tendencies in people taking cocktails of psychiatric meds.
Yeah, I know. I'm familiar with the word cocktail, apparently. Well, no, but it is a really good time as all this is coming out, because I think everybody's pretty much ready for it. It's like blending everybody on the same, well, pretty much on a page that's something that's not so unfamiliar to them, like the metaphysics with but with also the law enforcement or people that will hear and look and see, okay, you can't deny that this would not work or help or in some way. This is what I call the 2012 positiveness of it all. The grandiose positive.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's time to accept the facts. And I try to be very factual in my work, try to be very evidence-based. And people need to realize that metaphysics is not mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, it's not. And I do feel that the people that normally would poo-poo it Well, you know, it's just like anybody else coming out. Like, what was his name? Oh gosh, a neurologist, uh, the brain surgeon. He talks. Well, he wrote that book about something in heaven, or gosh, it slips my mind. I have the book somewhere. He came out and he had some almost death. He had something happen, like near death experience, and he said that all those years he was working, you know, giving surgeries on brains, he thought that was the biggest joke you ever heard of people talking about, you know, all this stuff until it happened to him. So he came out. He was on Oprah. He was all over the place, and Ian, gosh, it's Doctor Ian. Anyway, he's a neuro brain surgeon. Okay, the thing of it was he blended in. There is something more than what I'm doing. He goes, but a year ago, well, it might have been now longer because he's been out here for a while. A year ago, he goes, for you know, I had this experience. I thought that whole stuff was a bunch of crap. All everybody was talking about. Yeah. He was all about the academics until it happened to him. Someone asked him, "Was this caused problems with your colleagues?" He goes, "Yes, it has. You know, it certainly it has." But he says, "But I wasn't going to stop, and I wanted to talk about my experience." He was very well creditable, very well known, respected amongst his colleagues. But although I just can't remember his name, I'll get it later. I'll tell you later, I guess.
Look him up, yeah, they're interesting.
I will. You'll know who it is when I tell you. I mean, I'm frustrated that I don't remember because it was a big deal. I think we even talked about it before. I don't know. It's probably been about a good 6 months or so.
His name's Eben Alexander.
Thank you, Eben Alexander. What's the name of the book,
Julie? Proof of Heaven.
Proof of Heaven. Have you heard of him, Steve?
Proof of Heaven. Okay.
Ian Alexander. Thank you, Julie.
It's Eben. E-B-E-N.
Thank you, Eben. Yeah, and he was a big thing. In fact, and his son goes to, he's in a college, same as my he's a neuroscience major. But like, it's fantastic. So Oprah jumped on the bandwagon with him. He was on all these talk shows and such. And it wasn't like he said, it's not like I planned it this way. And he's really, the book is very inspirational, but he had said he'd been living in the dark for years about all this metaphysics stuff. And, you know, he's just a good old brain surgeon. And boy, he said he writes real well about what he's talking about, how everything happened. But things really opened his eyes coming over to our side of the team. Come on, play on our side of the team. But those are the not little things, those are the things I'm paying attention to. Signs are out there. And like you said, the psychiatrist that you were just talking about that you put in your book, 40 years she's been, how things are changing.
People are certainly becoming more aware, more open-minded. And I think you're right, this is a good time for us to start really showing how valid metaphysics
and joining together.
Times changing.
And joining together.
Well, I'll send you a copy of the book as soon as it's out.
And I will be looking forward to that. Thank you. And Steve is we are also co-host. We're also superstars. Thursday, psychicaccesstalkradio.com. I adore you, Steve. You know I do. I have a lot of regard for you.
I adore you too, Maureen. Thank you for the invitation to call in.
I'm happy you did. I appreciate, because I got more about than what we just talk about, in our meetings and stuff. I really appreciate you coming on and talking about that. I find it interesting.
You're welcome.
And I'm sure everybody else
You're
will.
welcome.
Okay. Well,
I'm going to listen to the rest of the show as well.
Thanks for coming, Steve. I know it's late for you. Bye. Thanks.
Bye, Maureen.
Thank you. Bless your heart. Thanks, Steve. Hi, everybody who's coming in the chat room. I don't know who you are. But hi. Julie? Do we have any calls? Hi, Mary. Hi, Becca. Hi, everybody else. Leah, guest. Who's the guest? Who would I guest? Okay. I don't see anything you just typed in. Or you weren't typing at me, were you? She has a tarot. Oh, you were? I can't see
I
it.
was, but you were breaking up, so it was hard to hear what you were saying part of the time.
Oh.
Might have just been on my end. Oh, it's Anita.
Oh, hi, Anita. I'm going to be doing her show next Friday night. So, I'm going to take a break in a minute, and then I'll come back. That's what I'm going to do. It's almost to the hour.
Would you like to answer this call
Sure.
or have her call back?
Sure, I'll answer it.
All right.
Thanks. Hello?
It's
Hello?
Rose.
It's who?
Rose?
Oh, hi, Rose. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm fine, I think, yeah. What's up?
I just heard that she was going to take a break. So
No.
back.
I'm glad you go. I was just going to do it because usually I don't till after the hours. No, I'm happy to take your call. What's going on,
Oh,
Rose?
thank you.
How are you feeling?
Good, thanks.
Good. I'm ready for you.
Okay, I decided to just go with the flow, and I really don't have a specific question. I just wanted to see what you saw around me.
Okay. Okay. The good, the bad, and the ugly, huh?
Yeah, I'll take it all.
That was my dad's favorite movie. Was that the name of it? The good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah,
I think there was a name, Clint Eastwood, or whatever. Well, I do see you being very happy very soon, like very, very soon. It looks like something's going to be making you feel very happy. I see you on your high horse. I don't know exactly. It does have to do with being fulfilled in the matters of the heart type of chakra. I'm just going to not say chakra.
Okay.
In your heart, okay?
Okay.
I also feel that there's incompletion around this whole situation, but I do get a sense of like really soon, like within the next few days or the next 5 days, I see you happy. I see you being a happy camper, and and then it feels like it's not going to be flowing. It's just like there's a great sense of happiness, and then the timings. I can't see who this is about. This has to do with someone about something that you know of. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry, I'm getting it again. I'm getting that this is a person that you know of. It's difficult, it's still incomplete, and still the timing isn't good. But all in all, I want to tell you to when I do see this state of happiness or some sort, you deserve it. And it's like the sun will be shining. On the other hand, it'll almost feel like immediately that someone's trying to take something from you, and I don't mean literally speaking. It feels like someone, here we go again, that's trying to be betraying, or your perception would be betraying. And
well, can I just tell you?
Sure.
Last night, Franny contacted me.
Oh.
And I didn't respond. And he kept calling me back 4 times, and I sent him a polite text this morning not to contact me. I didn't appreciate it. And so I'm not sure now if the person you're picking up on is him with the contact or if it's Glenn. I don't know.
No, it's Glenn. It's not Franny. I could tell the look, the difference of look.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? The look, that's what I'm saying. It's not going to be over till the fat lady's. And I'm going to be that fat lady probably because of the way I'm going. The way I'm getting all. I just know that it's almost like I see there's a sense. I see this whole thing having to do with what we've spoken about, and I don't know. I don't want to go into all your personal business on here, but it's almost like in that stuff with him. Again, it has to do with him dwelling in pain and hurt of the past and whatever's keeping him. Okay, I get it. But a lot of this there's a lot of water surrounding him. There's a lot of water around this. And I'm going to go on because he has too much of that liquid. But right now, again, I do feel that there will be something that's real happy, and then boom, it's back and in completion again. And I feel that there's a good reason why. It's because of his demon that he needs to. But the timing is not yet. The timing is not good. I do see within the next 2 months, I see being able to juggle around two situations, like getting by. But I also see something that's really positive. I see a man around him, but it's in your reading. It's part of your reading, but it's indirectly. He's in your reading. I see a gentleman. It's like a father figure, but it looks like someone who's going to offer an opportunity. He's like a businessman, an opportunity to him to do something, or like I said, this would be a fantastic thing if he would. And you look really happy about it. If he would, just an opportunity, like, I asked you one time when I was speaking to you about if he'd ever talked about the thing that he loves to do the best. You know what we're talking about? The yum yum, the yummy yums.
Yeah, the chocolate.
Yeah, and yeah, sounds so good. The thing of it is, I do see someone approaching him, or maybe he's sought out or something, who really believes in it and he wants to help him. And this would be a really great positive start towards him getting it together. It does feel like you're going to be wondering if you have even the strength to deal with all of this riffraff or this ongoing stuff. But I do, gosh, Rose, I do see your as far as relationship goes. I do see that there's something forming within 2 months that's going to be very positive. It feels like a new agreement with somebody you know of. I don't feel it's Franny. Maybe there's someone else lurking around. Are you seeing anybody else at all right now?
No.
Good. I mean, good for, by choice, you're not. Okay. So it doesn't look so bad. It looks like it still feels to me that it's going to be up and down, mixed messages. It is what it is. But I do feel like within a 2 month, and I say, I'm going to go within pretty close to the 2 month mark. I could be wrong on my time frame. Everybody listen up. I could be wrong. I don't deny it. Or don't lie about that, because I've been off a year on some people before where it was exactly a year later. But I am saying that there's a really good new reconnection on a whole new different feeling and level behind it that is all about truth. And so this is interesting, because I do see a man, like I said, a father figure, offering an opportunity towards this individual person named Glenn, that I don't know, like I said, I don't know where he comes from, or maybe Glenn, whatever the case may be. It almost like it opens up a whole new direction. You're going to be very, very leery and very suspecting that this is not, well, I guess what I'm saying is thinking, oh yeah, right, this is not going to work. I encourage you to be open to something that if this does come up, you'll see I do see a little bit of change. It looks like the tower for Glenn might be coming to an end, which is really positive. It's like, I don't know, there's a delay in a delay of resident change, that's for sure. Again, I see March, April being a really positive time for ceremony. This is a lot to do about your love relationship situation, okay?
Okay.
Now, Franny, I'm glad to hear what you did and how you handled that. I think that's absolutely the best idea yet. or advice you give yourself, yes. And that's, years ago, Rose, that would have been the case. We would be talking about him. You've done a lot of good things. And I also feel it's easier for you to be towards Glenn more superficial than the deeper. And for right now, I feel that's a really good thing to focus on and just be in that way. Sometimes I tell people that's not really truthful and that's not really good. In your case, I feel it's good because it helps keep you protected and not, like we talked about, you're not emotionally stable to go any further. So you don't need to be his beacon light or his spiritual person.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, he needs to get a fix of you sometimes, because you're like this. You're not there for that. If you can keep it, and I normally wouldn't say this to you, but here I go, keep it a little bit shallow and feel comfortable, not doing it for a game playing, but just like you said, flow with it is the best way of putting it. Flowing with it's pretty hard, because sometimes we think we're flowing with it, but we're really pissed off about something, or resentful about something, or why can't you just shake someone up and get them going? I do see some really positive. I'm not gonna. I'm telling you, I wouldn't give up on Glenn. I'm not telling you to wait around. You can do whatever you want. You're able to, but I would not give up on him, honestly. But to detach
So
is the best.
contact, it's just going to be to open up the lines of communication. It's not going to be anything big.
Yeah, and I feel that that's going to be. You need to have the strength available to do that. And I spoke to you about it. It's like you can connect them, but I feel that this other man I'm seeing will really open up a lot of things for him that might really be helpful for where he's going to be leading. That will help him also start seeing that he's got to make some changes in his life. If you know what I mean.
Yeah,
But
that'll be good.
yeah, but I also feel that you need to be superficial and at a distance, detached from him in a way. But I do see something very positive and happy about ready around you, which might be the best thing, and then might be easier for you to be more severing in a bit, because it will be difficult because you have a really great time and then boom, I see him. It'll be again very. It's just like again, here we go again. It would be very difficult to be around him because he'll make it difficult. The timing's just not good.
So do you see us spending any time around the holidays together or not?
I do see you doing so. I am going to suggest though that, and that might be a lot about what this is about. Like I see you happy coming up real soon. Thanksgiving's coming up, December's coming up, but I do feel that if you can emotionally handle this, and be in a mode of not feeling so like you're the spiritual one and all that, and put that aside. If you're capable of it and you can handle it, and you feel okay, I see you having a lot of fun if you do decide. Yes, I do see there's an opportunity, but if it gets too intense, I would say back away and run for you. If it gets too intense, I'm saying that because it's only fair to you because of what you're up against with this stuff. Do you know what I mean? Do you follow me? What I'm saying? Okay, good. So, yeah, Rose, it's I do see some good little help coming this way for him, with somebody offering a whole new opportunity for something, maybe an ordinary one, but it'll be really good, and he'll be able to be more truthful. And I see really good things. It'll be difficult, but if you can, go for it. You need to be some happiness, whether it's superficial or not. If you have to be, it's hard. I know it's a hard predicament for you to be in because of the situation. So thanks for staying up so late, coming to the show. Thank you, Rose. And I always wish you well.
I know. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rose. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I'm going to go on a short break. Is that okay? I'm going on a short break, guys. Is that okay? I'm going to put on some other clothes. I'm joking. Wait, I'm going to try to play a song. I'm going to play a little song that goes like this. And it goes like this. I can pull it off. Okay, where is it? I had it. Oh, here we go.
If I can reach the stars, pull one down for you, shining on my heart, so you could see the truth. And this love I have inside is everything it seems. But for now I find it's only in my dreams that I can change the world. I'll be the sunlight in your universe. You would think my love was really
Oops. That, oh, here I go. And that was Eric Clapton. My back? Yeah. I better be back.
You're breaking up again a bit,
I am.
or just at least on my end.
Oh, I see. I am. My CP. It's perfect now. No, my face isn't perfect because I don't like the angle of it. Put it up high. Hi, Rose. Steve's still here. Hi, Mary again. I'm Mary. Mary, I miss Cold Cake Files. 144. I'm gonna put myself in all sorts of contortion, whatever contortion is. Am I coming in okay now?
Yes, you are. Thank you.
Looks like I have no neck, but that's okay. There. Why is it my neck? Ah. Okay. Yeah, Leah, I didn't cancel it. I've been doing this since 2009. I just couldn't do that. I just had to take a few months off for neurotic reasons. And I want to see what Julie might be saying to me. There she's. Oh, she's not talking to me. Oh, I don't care. Okay, Julie's not talking to me. No, just kidding.
I could start whistling, but it might hurt everybody's ears.
No, in my chat. My chat little
Okay.
thing. Anyway, everybody knows the. You understand? Oh, Leah, if you only knew. Is there anybody in here I haven't talked? Where's Doug? Is he still here?
That's fine.
He left. Oh, he's probably tired. Oh, anybody else I haven't said hello to? Oh, is that Rufus? RTM?
Yep.
Hi, Rufus.
And
And Becca, Anita. Hi, Anita. I'm going to be on Anita's show next Friday. As a matter of fact.
Okay, and you have Shauna calling here.
Okay, thanks.
Welcome.
Hi, Shauna. Hi, Shauna. Rose.
Hi.
Hi. She's calling all the way from deep in Canada.
Yeah, sorry to bother you so much.
You're not
lately,
bothering.
Maureen.
Don't be sorry. Don't be
There's so
sorry.
much drama.
No, there's not. It's okay. I can handle your drama.
Yeah,
I'll trade you. You want to trade dramas? I'll be happy to be in yours. You have more fun
well,
in
I
yours.
hope you're doing better than I am. Well, I went on a date tonight with that guy that we had spoken with, the new guy. And we were out, drinking a bit with friends. And just because I was checking my Facebook or something, he thought I was like texting a guy. And he flipped out and he was driving me back home. And I was, saying no, I don't want to go. It's not what you think. And he just pretty much said that he doesn't want to talk to me anymore because of that. So I'm pretty
devastated.
Kind of shocked.
Okay, I understand where he's coming from. This is where I think that he was a real deal because, unfortunately, it's already. I'm not trying to reprimand you, but unfortunately, it is what it is. It's already happened.
Yeah.
Sadly enough.
So I just want to know if he's worth my time at all, or.
Wait, back up. Wait, back up. What did you say? If it's worth your time at all?
Well, if he contacts me again, I don't know if he's going to, because he said he's done or something. So.
Okay, yeah, I can understand where he was hurt. Can you?
I do, but he's kind of doing the same things in a way. I'm just not staring at his phone the whole time.
You mean he was playing with his phone as well when you guys were?
Yeah, exactly. And I wasn't saying anything. Then just because he looked at my phone and I kind of turned it away, he flipped out.
Ugh. You see, you both share something is very, like I said before to you. Remember me saying you both, and it's not a good thing. Okay, so you want to know what to say.
Well, I just want to know if we're going to talk again. And
yeah, I got it.
If it's even a good idea too.
Yes, I do feel that you guys have a really good thing going. I do see you reconnecting with him, and I do feel that. I want to ask you something. Was there some? I don't know if you ever talked to him about this. It looks like there's a little bit more on his mind just besides what happened. In addition to what happened, there's something else. It looks like there's some home issue around him that isn't what he like. There's a delay.
I'm not sure. He hasn't opened up about anything.
Do you know he lives? Does he live in the shack? Does he live in the woods?
No. He owns his own house.
Okay, he owns his own house. There, I guess getting somewhere. Thank you. I feel that there's something else besides that going on. I see you seeing him again, absolutely. And I
Is
feel
it going to be a long wait,
no, I don't
though?
see it. I do not see it to be a long wait. Uh, I do feel that there is some other stuff, stress going on in his life. Now, so when you reconnect with him, which I suggest that you be open to doing so, I do feel that you two really need to get through your what. And actually, I want to tell you, I do feel that he's definitely capable of communication in a form that I'm talking about that's not out there irrational. He's more stable. But you said something to me that I didn't. I don't know. I'm believing it to be a fact just coming from you that he was doing the same thing. So what you're telling me while you guys were having dinner, right? When this was going on.
Mm,
So while you
yeah.
were having dinner and he's having dinner, you both are playing around with your gadgets, right?
Yeah, well, there are other people too, like around,
Well, wait,
like
wait. No, I'm just
friends.
talking about you
We all
two.
went up to.
Did you two go to dinner? Just you two?
No. There are other people there too,
Oh,
like friends.
okay. That's where I see all that friends celebration, all that fun. You guys don't do well with being around other people. This is the thing, because I am seeing other people. This is fascinating. Why is it that do you know these people that were they your who are they?
No, it was the first time I met them, and obviously it was really embarrassing because he kind of made a scene, and I don't know, I just got up and left, and he was driving me home, and we were kind of arguing, about the whole phone situation, and he just said he didn't want to talk to me anymore after that.
Okay, okay. I want to ask you this, so Rose. What is it that you're saying? Okay, forget about all the other people, just you two. You said he was doing the same thing as you. Is that not true? Is it with
Well, like
everybody?
he was texting about a girl. Apparently, there was a girl that was interested in him, and he said she was, kind of crazy or something, and he was telling her
To back
or
off?
whoever was texting on her behalf that he was, not interested,
Well,
and
that's a good thing.
saying,
Okay, that's a good thing. I mean, I'm looking at it this way. It's sad that all these phones and stuff, and I get it. I use mine when I'm by myself, so nobody bothers me when I'm walking down the street. I use it just as badly. But when you're out with somebody, but you knew information. He had told you, I'm texting this person, really because he was trying to explain to you that he's found he wants to be with you, okay? So that's a good thing, even though he shouldn't have been doing the texting. I get it. But then what I'm asking you is what you were doing was, again, you said, say it again, what you were doing. Why did you
well,
need
I
to?
was just checking my Facebook news feed on my phone. That
Okay,
was all, and I just kind of turned my phone. It was
okay.
just a reflex that I always have for
I
some
know.
reason on
Okay,
purpose, and
this
he just flipped out right away.
okay, I can understand that because it wasn't, you were just kind of, it's almost like, I'm not saying that you were doing this, I'm not putting this on you, I'm not taking sides, but my feeling is that he took it as this is resolvable, this is okay. And I feel that you should understand because there's a difference. When someone let me put it this way. Even when I'm with my freaking mother, with her iPhone, her 83-year-old mother, and all she does, in fact, even when on the phone, she goes, "Oh, did you see on Facebook?" I get really angry because I'm trying to talk to her about something that might be important.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I guess I'm trying to say is, I'm not saying you consciously did this, but it is very unsettling when someone does it. I know it is for me, like this with my mother, when I've been trying to talk to her in person or when she calls me. So, she's probably looking at her iPhone while I'm on the phone with her. She's talking about news
Yeah.
feeds. It's like, in a way, it's like, and I get so mad. I get to where, okay, well, I guess you really don't want to be talking. Or even, and I'm bringing this up because it just happened the other night too with her. I'm saying this because it's kind of like in the same ways I'm comparing it because it is like that. With him, what he did was actually something that was really lovely in some ways towards you, wasn't it?
Well, he really made me feel extremely bad
No, I'm
today.
not talking. I'm
So,
talking about the fact that he was telling this crazy.
well, before, yeah, but
I know, but then he didn't go. He wasn't bored. It's almost like someone you see like you're bored. And I don't care about what everybody else is doing. They don't count. Just you two is what I'm talking about. Like you're bored. I know it was a natural reflex. I get that. I understand. Like I said, I do that all the time walking by myself, so nobody will bother me. It's
mhm.
dysfunctional. I feel that he felt extremely hurt, and that's coming from past stuff. Okay, it's like you weren't
So
really.
what do you see happening like in the next week or so with us.
I do feel that you two have a very strong bond and very harmonious love feeling towards each other. It feels like it's a really lovely harmony. He got upset because he was hurt, and he felt like you really weren't interested in being with him because you were distracted by doing the silliness of, and it was, of news feeds on who does MySpace anymore? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Facebook. You're on Facebook. Good. I thought you said MySpace. I'm going, what? What? MySpace? Facebook. The thing of it is, I feel that this is workable, and I do feel that you said something right when you asked me this question. You're a little defensive about, well, he was doing this, but it isn't the same, Charose. It isn't the same. You know that.
Yeah.
It isn't. You've got to admit that. Well, you don't have to. I'm encouraging you to, okay? I'm not telling you what to do, but I can understand where he's coming from, and he was hurt. He'll get over it. I wouldn't let this guy slip. I wouldn't let this guy get away. I wouldn't. I would contact him. If you don't hear from him the next day, contact him.
But is he going to be the one to contact you?
No, I just said if you don't hear from him in the next day, you contact him.
Okay.
Don't let this get this one thing, because he, whether he overreacted or not, I understand where he's coming from, and he's scared as much as you are. If this is someone, you remember we talked about this the other night. Does he really want to be in it? Yes, he does. And the fact is, it's suddenly it's almost like you're with them, and it almost like that little thing, it may be little to you, that triggered something in him that's fear or baggage from the past that really, really hurt him.
Does he see him like contacting me at all?
I'm not clear about that, but I do feel that this should not. I don't care whether no. I feel you need to do it. I feel you can wait a day, but if after that, I feel you're going to be the one to do it. I hope you do. It's going to, and so you can explain. You said it really great a moment ago. You said you automatically, because our devices are automatically distracted. It is. It's true. Listen, where's my phone? I have my phone right here. Julie doesn't know this. I had it on what? Never mind. Silent. I had this little slot machine game I played. It's distracting. Everybody gets distracted by their devices. And I know you didn't mean it, and I think you need. This is the thing. I feel it's really important. If he doesn't contact you, don't play games with him like that. You two have a really great start of something I see really solid. So you must, now, suddenly, all the things, don't you like that sound? And another distraction, see? And I go on and I'm reading for you. That's not very nice of me, was it? Hell no. You should have said, I'm moving on. But I grabbed it immediately. Everybody listen up. Don't do that anymore. I know Rose, if he doesn't contact you in one day, don't let him go. Don't let him slip through your fingers. That's all I'm going to say. I don't care. Put your false ego aside and call him and connect with him. I feel that if you do so, it will make things a lot better. And as far as that goes, move forward. Because if you
I don't, do you still see him communicating?
No, why would he? Actually, if you don't, that would mean right there, it's justifiable what he felt about you just from what you did. You need to. Why would you even ask me that question? Don't even do that.
Well, I already confronted him and told him, no, that's not true.
No, but that was just in the heat of the moment, driving you home, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. You need time, a little bit of time, not in the car. I'm talking about.
But is he always going to be like this? It's like really draining, Like,
well, Charose, you need to have compassion for him too. You're scared of a lot of things, also, right? It goes both ways. You maybe next time not to have your cell phone, just put it in your purse. Keep it there. If you know that whatever reason it is, he could have gone through you. For all you know, he was with somebody that constantly was talking and doing something while he was in a relationship. I mean, really, have you thought about that? Whether it sounds ridiculous or not, it may be something that's really something that he gets hurt by. I mean, you don't know, but you got to have some compassion for him too, as well. I'm not saying you did it on purpose, but I'm saying that that little trigger right there could have been something that really scared him. Especially when you told me he was texting someone and he let you know why he was doing it. He explained to you what it was about. Right there was almost like telling you, listen, I'm here with you, and I want you to know that I'm telling this other person because
Well, he didn't really do it like that. He told his friends first, and then I found out.
Okay,
so that's
well,
why I wasn't really happy about that either.
What did he told this girl that he?
He told his friends first that were around me, and then I found out after.
From who? Him?
Why he was,
From him?
Yeah, why he was texting.
Okay, but he did tell you, though.
He did, but I wasn't happy about it, and he was able to tell.
You weren't happy about the fact that he told this girl?
No, because he should tell me, not just talking to his friends.
You guys should never. This is another lesson. Don't go out with a bunch of people together right now when you're starting out. That's another thing. That there's too much distractions. Again, those are distractions of other people. I'm not saying they're bad people. It's just like too much of a social celebration party, blah 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 blah, and it's not good for you two. And this is the thing I feel that would be a good thing. I'm encouraging you to talk about with him when you're together, because that's where everything could get all messed up from having too many people around on your date. Really.
I just feel though like I don't have the energy. Like he's too
he's worth it, Charrose. He's worth. Well, you're too insecure for him, maybe too. I think he's worth it. This is a way for you to weasel out of something that might be really a good, healthy relationship, Charrose. I would not let this go. I wouldn't let this guy go. Honestly. Honestly. We talked about this before. He wants to get to know you. That's how you get to. This is the hard part. You have to go through this. It's like, when you have a bait. Well, never mind. Go through that. But this is how it is. Don't let him go. If this hadn't happened, it would be a fantastic, perfect world if nothing like this ever happened. Everything was smooth sailing and everybody knew where they stood. Da, da, da. But that doesn't work in our world, and plus we'd be bored to death anyway. But don't let him go. Don't let him just. And it'd be easy if he doesn't contact you and you decide to. Charrose, it's your fear, I feel, that is scared to get really in a committed relationship. Because all in all, you do like him a lot. I know you do. Except now that he showed this behavior of his, which I feel actually.
Can you tell? Can you see at all how he feels for me? Because I'm really unclear about that.
He feels. Charrose, I just got through telling you, he was upset for good reasons. He felt that you weren't really present with him, that you didn't really want to be out. You're on looking at news feeds while you're out.
Okay. Do you see him around other girls tonight or something?
No, I don't.
I'm gonna go.
No, I don't. No, I do not see him like that. That's my point. Don't let this guy get away. I don't see him like that whatsoever. I know that you have fears of that nature, but no, he's not like that. I don't see it. I really don't. And I really am being hard on you because I don't want this to slip through. I don't want you to let this guy go. You need to give this opportunity for a good relationship that is heading or could head into a committed relationship a chance. If you don't, well, you don't. But I hope you will. Okay?
Okay.
Really.
All right.
And all my intentions are good when I'm talking to you hard like this. You know that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Bye, Charrose.
Bye.
Oh, bless her heart. Well, sorry, Charrose. I know I'm getting a little bit fogged out. Now people can't see me. I'm getting fogged out. Whatever. Julie, is that you? That was funny.
I'm here.
That was funny what you did. Yeah, you're funny. How many people are left in here? 9 still. Steve's still hanging out.
You're breaking up again, perhaps.
Am I really?
Yeah, to me you are.
I have a delay. It says that I'm doing perfect steaming as I'm in the steam shower. I should listen to it on. Well, I can't. Well, I could if I did this.
There we go.
Oh yeah, I can see when it's not perfect steaming, and then when it is. It's just because my face is killing the camera.
It's not.
Yes, it is. It's just not like Wirecast. I'm just a Wirecast. So
I was trying to get Anita to call in so she could talk about her show with you for next week, but she was having trouble getting in. So.
What do you mean having trouble getting in?
I'm pretty sure she's using Chrome, and she doesn't use IE or Firefox.
She doesn't. So, okay.
No.
Yeah, Chrome is always a Chrome-inatic.
Yeah, it works for Hangouts, but
I know. Chrome. People use an Opera too.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Opera's on a lot of phones.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, not iPhones though, right?
I don't know about iPhones. I just know Androids. There's more Androids than there are iPhones.
You're an Android kind of girl.
But that's because there's free apps and stuff. And I'm just Android.
I didn't know. So Android. Well, wait a minute. It's a new one, but I got an iPhone, a Samsung Galaxy. Is that considered?
That's an Android.
It's an Android.
Yep.
I had a. I thought I didn't have, but that didn't have. Whatever, didn't have Chrome, but I guess the newer ones might.
So, just use Opera on it.
I mean, Opera might.
Yeah, you can just download it. It's an app.
Well, I mean, I don't use that phone because I'm using my iPhone.
Oh, okay.
But I was just trying to say that is considered an Android.
Yes, it is. The Samsung Galaxy is.
So I'm like an Android. See how we're getting distracted on our devices again, everybody?
I know. We're talking about them.
And I'll tell you something. I'm getting ready to get a new. I'm going to get 5 because it's time because I can get a really good deal because I have an upgrade and all the other ones 5C, 5S's and stuff. Is Mary still in here?
No, she left as well.
Everybody's so tired. Steve's hanging out, boy.
Steve is.
Steve's sleeping.
Yeah, and then Leah is too. She's in Central Time Zone, so.
Oh, Central Time. Okay, and then Becca. How's Becca doing? Becca's doing good. There's Becca doing fine.
Yep.
Wait a minute. So there's. I want to see something here. If there is a way for me.
And Rufus.
And Rufus is awfully quiet.
Yep. You're all quiet in the chat. I'm the one talking.
We're the only ones talking. I'm wanting to close the show down early if that's the case. You people know. What happened to my brain? I was looking to see. I don't have it up there anymore. That's too bad. I was looking to see a way for me to see the chat room because it looks like there's more. I know Leah's still there. Leah, before do you have a chat question if you have a chat question in the chat room, please feel free to type it in and I'll answer it if I can. If I'm not distracted by my device. Rose left in a hurry, bless her heart. But I know Rose and I had to let her have it. I don't know. I'm sorry if I offended anybody, but oh well. I mean, I just think that we all get really screwed up, and I'm one of those people. I usually bring books to read. When I used to go out with somebody, I bring books, and that doesn't show I'm real interested in. And frankly, I'm not real interested in the other person. But I bring books still out when I'm out by myself. I just want to be left alone. I like to read. Steve, you'll probably appreciate that because he likes the real book.
Yeah.
But
I got Anton's book on Kindle.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and I'll get Steve's on Kindle too because I have the book with me always on my phone too.
Yeah,
so.
And you see I don't do very well with reading on like I tell you I'm better with books, but Anton's is like 400 pages. It's a long one.
Yeah.
And Wesley say I do that too, even when I go out. Yeah. See, there's a dysfunction coming up our way. I do that too. Well, you guys, I'm going to close the show down now if there's nobody else wanting a reading, because I can. So if anybody's not going to call in for a reading, I'm going to shut it down. I'm shutting it down for the night. I'm shutting it down. And so now's your time. Call in or not. If not, I will be back on next Saturday. Julie, will you be here Saturday with me?
I do plan on it.
You do plan on it, okay. And then after that's Thanksgiving Day. I'm not going to be doing it. I'm working. Well, Steve and I both are doing the show, and actually the show on Thursday, on Thanksgiving, we're doing all readings on night at psychicaccesstalkradio.com on the 28th. So if anybody's interested, come there, and we're all four. I think there's gonna be four of us. I'm not sure. I know Steve and I and Steven will be there, and we're doing that. So with that said,
Carmen's not.
I'm not sure. She wasn't sure yet, so I don't want to say for sure. She said she wasn't sure, so I don't know for sure. So I don't want to say for sure, but I know for sure three of us for sure will be there. Carmen said she was, and then at some point there might be something going on. She may not be able to join us, but and so if people don't come in, I know after Thanksgiving it's kind of draining, but it is. The whole 2 hours we're going to do free readings. And if we don't have enough callers or whatever, that's okay. We have plenty to talk about to everybody, like devices. Like the devices. Okay, yeah. Julie, no one's calling. I'm going to say goodnight.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll play a song for you guys, and I'll sing it too. I'm joking. Let me find
Wait. Leah's saying, in the near future.
Via Skype, do I have to close down?
It depends on how your setup is on your computer, Leah. I can't answer that otherwise.
Can she mute?
You can also ask the question in the chat room.
Yeah, I do have to close down. I think maybe she's asking because if you always need to call in and mute the.
You have to mute the
player.
Show. The player.
Yeah, or the player, or sometimes on a computer is like you can mute without doing that on your sound. How would you say that, Julie? You know how you're able to.
Yeah, you have. You just said it.
Yeah. Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
Anybody who's over at live stream, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There might be, unless they're just watching outside. Hello to you people, because I did have the chat thing up. Now I can't see it, but I know there's a few more others that are in the chat room. So, Leah, what is that? What do you want me to wait before I close the show down? Is that a yes or a no? Oh, she's saying good night.
Okay.
Well, Leah, next week, and you can do the chat. Oh, that was fast. Okay, well, you guys, let me see. Where's my little? Oh, I know what to do. This one right here. Hold on, you guys. Okay, and let me see if I can. Well, no, this is not the one I want to do, but that's okay. I'll do it anyway. Hopefully it'll work. Hold on. Okay. I don't think it's going to show. Darn it. It's not. Well, now you can see my whole screen. You can see everything. Oh, here it goes. Right. Watch this, Julie. This is really cool. I should have said.
Your screen is so organized, Maureen.
Of the answers, look for God in life. Distant planets, have your faith in the ever after. While each of us holds inside the map to the labyrinth. Heaven's here on earth.
There you go.
We are the spirit, the collective conscience. We create the pain and the suffering and beauty in this world. Heaven's here on earth. And our faith in humankind, and our respect for what is earthly, and our unfaltering belief in peace and love and understanding. earthly, and our unfaltering belief in peace and love and understanding. You see, kingdom is at hand, promised land is at your feet. Can and will become what we aspire to be. If heaven's here on earth, if we have faith in humankind and respect for what is earthly, and an unfaltering belief, the truth is divinity. Heaven's here on earth. Creations, beautiful and wondrous. I've been places where I question all I think I know. I believe this could be heaven. Our temple, the world is our church. Heaven's here on earth. If we have faith in humankind and respect for what is earthly, and an unfaltering belief in peace and love and understanding, this could be heaven here on earth.